This video is going to be discussing work planes. Now, work planes are essentially the flat spaces where we create sketches. When we first talked about sketches, we talked about the fact that a sketch is similar to in real life how you pull out a piece of paper. Well, that paper is your plane, and then whatever you do on it is part of the sketch. Well, in CAD, we have much more flexibility in where in the planes that we choose or the planes that we make. Um, for example, when we create our first sketch, we see the three origin planes that we're presented with. Well, under this construct tab, this toolbar here, I have a lot of possibilities about how I can go about making planes. The first and simplest is an offset plane, where I can choose an existing plane or even a face of an object that I've created to create a plane that's perfectly parallel and offset to one side or the other. I'm going to create a quick object on a plane so we can see how to make some other planes as well. Just go ahead and do a square, and I'm going to put a round part in here as well. Okay, I'm just going to quickly extrude these objects. Let's see, how far should we go? I think that's about perfect. All right, so I have this complex object, and one thing I want to point out is that when I go to create my next sketch, I can sketch on the flat parts very, very easily. They light up, I can sketch right on them, no problem. Even on this flat part, I can sketch. But I can't sketch on this curved face. The computer it doesn't work that way. None of these CAD programs will do that. So if you want to put a sketch somewhere out here on this curved face or any curved face, you need to create a plane. Now, you can do an offset plane, maybe from this face to get you where you want. That would be one option. Another option would be maybe a mid plane. Maybe you want to create a plane in the middle of something that you're working on. So a mid plane goes right between two existing planes. That's an easy and useful one. But there's also things like tangents that are designed for curved faces. And you can see that it puts a plane on a tangent of this circle. Now, depending on where you click, probably get some different tangents, but sometimes it'll give you a little preview, which can be useful. You can see this time it put the plane over here, and I know I've got too many planes, but an easy way to get rid of some of these is to just select them and delete them. And as long as you haven't drawn on them, it's not going to be a problem. All right. There's several different ways to create planes. I did the tangent plane. You can do a plane tangent to a face at a point, something that's a little bit more complex. Let's see. So I can select a tangent face and then a point. There's lots of different options here, but the biggest thing you have to do is just kind of play with it to see how you can get a plane that you want. One that I use all the time is two edges. So let's just say I select that edge and this edge here. It's going to create a plane right between them. So it can be very useful for planes at different angles. And then you can do things like offset from that plane I just created. Maybe you want a plane that's at an angle to this. So there's a ton of different options with planes, and you can use planes in unison, essentially, creating one off another to do really interesting things as well. So the thing I recommend is to just play with it and try and figure out how to make the plane that you're looking for, because sometimes we need a plane that just doesn't seem like it's going to be easy to make, but if you just put in some time and effort, and you can usually figure it out. That's what I do, at least. I do want to point out on the same menu, you can create axes, which can be useful if you want to revolve in a place where there's not currently one. And you can also create points as well. So for things like sweeps and lofts, creating workspaces, work planes in different areas is absolutely essential. So this is something that you're going to want to get really good at in the future.